able to give 500 cattle to my brother to appease him for what I've given. I want to show you this video and we'll close up. Can we do it, Miss Paula? The video? All right. Okay. I'm going to show you this video. We couldn't download it, so she's trying to get it to come up. Let's watch this video, and then we'll wrap this up. We lost it. One more try. Okay, that'll be fine. Thank you, Miss Paula.
If you read the news, scroll through your Facebook feed, or just look at the relationships around you, it's pretty clear we live in a broken world. There's a lot of death, a lot of disease, and dysfunction. But we also see traces of beauty. We see beauty in nature, art, and in love. That's because God's design was perfect when He made everything. God loved us. We loved Him. We loved each other. There was no death, disease, suffering, or broken relationships. Things were perfect. But starting with the first people, we as humans decided to go our own way. We put ourselves first and separated ourselves from God. The Bible calls this sin. In doing this, we left God's perfect design. This brought death, disease, and dysfunction into our world and our lives. Yet, we don't like to be in brokenness, so we try to get out. We try to be first by climbing the ladder of success at work or school. Maybe that will get us out. Sometimes we try to get out by doing good things or being religious or going to church and helping people. Sometimes we try to drown out the brokenness by drugs, alcohol, or attempts at suicide or self-harm. Sometimes we even try relationships. These attempts at getting out of brokenness ourselves end up snapping us back in like a bungee cord. But God loved us so much that He didn't want us to stay in the brokenness caused by our weaknesses, failures, or mistakes, these things that the Bible calls sin. So He did for us what we could not do for ourselves. He provided the only way out, and that is through His Son, Jesus. You see, Jesus came down to our world and allowed Himself to be killed on a cross, taking on our mistakes and weaknesses. And 3 days later, He rose from the dead. God said that if you turn from your ways and believe that Jesus died on the cross for you, if you believe He rose from the dead, then you will be forgiven. God can give you a new life and a relationship with Him that puts you on a path towards His design for your life. Now I want to ask you, which of these two would you say that you are in? Are you in brokenness or God's design? If you're in brokenness, is there anything that keeps you from turning from your ways, from believing in Jesus and making Him first in your life? If you'd like to be forgiven and start down that path of a new life, you can talk with God right now. God offers forever life to any who asks and believes in Jesus and all He did. Begin that journey today by telling Him, I am second. You are first. If you've just now decided to put Jesus first in your life, we want to celebrate with you. Let us know about your decision, and we'll send you info about how to live second.
And here's what I'm going to wrap it up with is, when you can, Miss Paul, if you can put the last slide up, that'd be great. Is as we some of you may have already done that, and hopefully I think all of us have done that, but there may be someone here that hasn't done that hasn't come to a saving knowledge as, hey, Lord, I know I'm a sinner and I need you in my life. But even as a Christian, this is something that we need to do every day. And I wanted to share with you what John the Baptist said at the end. They were coming to John and said, hey, are you the one that we're looking for? And John said, no, there is one that is greater. And John the Baptist even came out and he finally said, look, I must decrease and He must increase. They look at John the Baptist and, man, this is it. He is a great man. And John the Baptist said, no, I'm nothing compared to one that's out there. And this is our life story, is we need to learn to decrease and allow God to increase in our lives. To realize that, hey, we are really nothing, and what we are is because of who God made us. And in fact, even though that we can never measure up to what God expects of us, he still loves us. And we are called his children. We're not called his servants. We're not called his slaves, but we are called heirs, his children. So let's all stand. Let's close with this video, this music. Let's sing to him. If you feel comfortable singing, if you know the words.
Who am I that the highest king would welcome me? I was lost, but he brought me in. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Free at last, he has ransomed me, his grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am who you say I am. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am.
Miss Paul, you can shut that off. I don't think it's any more words. I guess there are. But we'll close it there. Are there any announcements? Anything that we need to share? We have offering plates in the back, so we less hand contact and all that. In fact, Mr. Russell, would you do me a favor and open them doors as we close out? We do have offering plates in the back if you need one to put your giving in there. Other announcement I really have is in the back we do have baby bottles. We are taking up money for Skylark. This is to help ladies so they don't have to have an abortion. They can give up the baby for adoption and stuff, for them to counsel. It's not just to keep ladies from having abortion, but it's also to encourage them and help them in the whole process. They have a truck that goes around to different locations. I think sometimes they park up at Satilla once a month, and just to counsel and minister to young ladies. So if you want to take part of that, there's baby bottles in the back. Grab those, put your money in. If you don't, if you're not, don't keep change, you're like me, there's also a place you can go online and you can give that way. That's really the only announcement I have. We're going to continue doing services, just services like this, probably for another couple weeks, and we'll kind of see where we are when we can get back to doing, getting back to having small groups in Sunday school and Wednesday night. But right now, we'll probably keep doing this for another week or so. Anything else I need to mention? My sweet Miss Juanita is doing good. She just wanted everyone to be praying for her. Let us know that she does have she tested positive. She said all she had, she did have some a runny nose, but she said she had that. She's been dealing with that for a while. So she's not upset. She made a comment to one of the nurses that, well, I'm ready to go. And she's like, oh, no, we want you here. So, Miss Juanita is good. Just be praying for her. We don't want her to go. We hope she stays with us and all that. And like I said, she doesn't have any symptoms, but she did want us to know and just be praying that that this virus wouldn't whip her. So just be praying for her in that situation. Is there anything else? God is good? All the time, God is good. Yes, Miss Tina? Pray for our government, our state, and everything. There's a lot going on. And so just be praying for leaders and all that. Pray for each other, because I think a lot of us are all kind of trying to figure out what side of the fence we are and what we need to do and what's safe and what's not safe. And we have all this stuff that's being thrown at us through social media, through the news and all that. And so we have to decipher through all that. And so just keep praying for everybody. And I was glad to see everyone. And I think we have a good turnout. So y'all are dismissed. Have a great day. We'll see y'all next week, if not before.